Hey guys, and welcome back to the Retail Rip Review. I was in Wal Mart recently and I saw these new 2025 Panini Revolution Football tins that you actually have a chance of getting a graded card in. So I grabbed one to see what we can find inside. Let's go ahead and check it out. So like I mentioned in the intro, I found this at Wal Mart, and I'm pretty sure it's a Wal Mart exclusive, so if you want to find these, you might have to go down there to check it out. I've seen other people report that they've seen these in like some Black Friday sections in the store, but to be honest, in my store, they were just up where the normal cards were because they don't really have a ton of stuff there, so these did kind of stand out. They have a very shiny front on them. But these tins, this is what they say that they include inside. There's going to be 6 packs of 2025 Panini Revolution Football, and those each have 4 cards in them. And the packs that I've seen opened have been kind of pretty ho-hum. You know, maybe like a rookie, an insert or two, and then like a base card. But I haven't seen anything special from what I've seen. An exclusive Revolution parallel card, and then also a CGC graded card, seeded 1 to 10. So obviously that's the big prize there. And if you haven't seen any of these opened yet, you can probably already kind of guess the fatal flaw in this design, because you're talking about including a slab inside a loose tin. They're just kind of flapping around in there. So if you wanted to, you can kind of pick up the tins and get a good sense for what's inside. I'm not saying I did that, but I'm just saying that if you wanted to do that, there's a pretty big difference between a box that has a slab and a box that doesn't have a slab, I would imagine. The funny thing is that the tins that I've seen that don't have slabs in them actually have top-loaded cards that are in sleeves in there. So somebody went ahead and like loaded a card for you, put them. And I think it's usually the player that's on the cover of the tin. So let's go ahead and open ours up and see what we can find. All right, let's go ahead and bust into our tin here. Let's go ahead and go in through the top. You know, once again, another tin. Not quite sure what to do with it, but at least this one's big, so I feel like if you wanted to actually put cards in it, you could. All right, let's see if our intuition paid off. It looks like it did. I mean, once again, like I said, you know, these are CGC slabs, and I believe it says they're all graded at least 9 or above. So let's see who we got. We'll do from, we'll just go for it. 1, 2, 3. Touchdown! All right, we got Cam Ward again. I feel like our last football video was really Cam Ward heavy here, but we got a CGC 10 of Cam Ward on the red Cosmo. In the Panini Revolution. At least it's a rookie. I think that's pretty cool. I don't have any CGC slabs actually, so this is kind of cool to see. I kind of do like the looks of these, so happy to get a 10 and, you know, happy to get a rookie, you know, the top quarterback rookie. We mentioned in our last video where we pulled a lot of Cam Ward stuff. You know, maybe not the season he had imagined. So there's what the inside looks like. It just has kind of a plastic, you know, sleeve in there. Not exactly the season that Cam Ward would have hoped for here to start out with, but I still have a lot of hope. So I'd say overall that was pretty much a success. Don't know the value of those slabs, so I'll try to pop that up on screen to kind of get a reference point. Oh boy, these are going to be tough to get into, I can already tell. All right, we're just going to go ahead and slice. I don't know what it is about that. The Panini packs sometimes. I've talked about this. I have a real hard time with them. All right, so here's what our cards look like for Panini Revolution if you've never seen it. They're very shiny. This is just a base card here with Victor Cruz. One thing I do like about it, and this isn't just exclusive to these cards, but you know, on a lot of Panini cards, they just tell you what the name of the insert or like the parallel is up in the top. So in this case, this one is a Cosmo parallel or Cosmo insert with Puka Nacua on it. I really appreciate that, especially if you're not super familiar with the set. It just makes things more straightforward. And here's one called Stargazing with Josh Jacobs. I mean, obviously, that one's pretty straightforward enough. You can't really miss that. And then behind that, we have a rookie with Trevor Etienne. So yeah, so 2 inserts, a base, and a rookie per pack. That's not too bad. I mean, the fact that you get a rookie in each pack, I think is pretty great because that's what most people are chasing. All right, we got Nico Collins here on our base. Behind that, we have Jackson Dart on the, this is a Cosmo. I'm not sure, I think these are all just, you know, team color oriented. Like this isn't a parallel of a Cosmo or anything like that, but happy to get Jackson Dart on that. And then we have Riley Leonard behind that on the New Wave insert. And then also Savion Williams on the rookie. I actually don't really mind the looks of these cards. And once again, Panini, the future of Panini is just kind of up in the air, so I'm not going to say you should go out and buy a bunch of Revolution packs here. Here's Joe Mixon on our base. Here's Nico Collins on the Cosmo. Ashton Janty on the Futures. That's nice. Happy to pull him. Got a couple of good rookies here so far, and Jalen Milroe on the base rookie. Okay, so far so good. And once, I didn't mention it, but the price point on this tin is $25, so it's basically like a blaster. And if you get a good graded card, you know, that can kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure if it would pay for the box itself, but it would certainly go a long way. We have Jack Beck here on the rookie, Earl Campbell on the Gridiron Legacy. That's pretty cool. Like they have some legend stuff in here too. DeForest Buckner on the Revolution. This is the Cosmo. And David Montgomery. Did those in reverse. My apologies. 2 packs left. All right, we got Khalil Shakir here on our base. We have Jerry Jeudy on our Cosmo. Stargazing insert here with Mike Evans. And then also Ashton Janty here just on a base rookie. So a lot of Ashton Janty in this box too. All right, last pack. Let's see what we can get. Honestly, pretty pleased with everything so far. I do kind of like the way that these cards look. I'm not sure if they have any value, but I'm happy with the rookies that we've gotten. Here's Zach Thomas on the base. Here's Julian Love on the Cosmo and Will Howard on the New Wave. And Mason Graham is going to be our base rookie there. So there you go. All in all, we got actually a decent amount of rookies. You know, for 6 packs with 4 cards each, you know, you're not talking about a lot of stuff here. And we got our graded 10 CGC Cam Ward card. So overall, I would say I was pretty pleased with that 10. And I guess if you care about that sort of thing, you get a shiny lunchbox too. But just wanted to let you guys take a quick peek of what was inside these in case you saw them and were tempted to check them out. I'm not saying that you should pick them up and shake them, but if it were me, I know what I would do. So good luck out there if you choose to go that route. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next time for the Retail Rip Review.